Daniel Negreanu is looking down at pocket aces. Preflop begins with a clash of titans that escalates from a standard open into a catastrophic leveling war. Joe Hashim, a world champion who knows how to navigate these streets, looks down at pocket tens. It is a strong hand.
Gee, none of us have been all in.
Nope.
Is that right?
Just the cannon.
Tens for Hashim.
I just only made it 1,200. Wow.
But vulnerable, so he opens the pot to 3,100 to define his range and thin the field. The action folds to Negreanu in position, and he wakes up with the absolute nuts, pocket aces. Negreanu enters small ball mode, but knows he needs to build the pot now. He puts in a standard 3-bet to 10,000. At this point, the alarm bells should be ringing for Joe, but the dynamic between these two legends complicates the simple math. When the action returns to Hashim, he faces a critical decision point. A flat call here would be the prudent play, keeping Negreanu's range wide and allowing Joe to reevaluate on the flop. Instead,
Raise.
Hashim decides to assert dominance. He 4-bets to 31,000. This is a massive deviation that turns his hand into a bluff. He is trying to represent a monster like kings or aces to force Negreanu off a hand like ace-king or pocket jacks. However, against a player like Negreanu who is capable of trapping, this aggression merely isolates Hashim against the top of the deck. Negreanu does not hesitate. He doesn't slow play or get cute. He reaches for chips and 5-bets to 91,000, effectively putting Hashim all in. This bet is the nail in the coffin. It collapses Hashim's fold equity to 0. Joe, now realizing he has painted himself into a corner, has priced himself in.
Kind of glad it's not a quick all in. Right?
Yeah, that's good news.
I'm all in.
Joe shoves. Daniel calls.
You got aces? Yeah, I got tens. Twice is good.
Yeah, twice is good.
I couldn't fold it.
No, I don't think so.
I couldn't fold it.
The first flop.
Boom.
A 10.
Like that one.
Good thing I ran it twice.
Save the fourth 10 for the second board, please.
The turn, 6 of diamonds.
Give me another 10 if you're gonna do anything. Okay? Seriously.
She's gonna do something.
If you don't give me an ace, just give him a 10. I can't handle losing these twice. It'll hurt really bad. That'll bother me.
The river, 6 of hearts.
All right, thank you. That's
wait, there's one
oh,
more.
we're running it twice?
Yes.
The second flop.
Ooh,
I thought that was
clubs.
a 10. I don't know why.
Gloves and there's backdoor everything
It's
here.
not fair if I beat you this hand, seriously.
The turn.
Ooh!
Big time sweat.
I mean, that's
Oh, God.
a decent sized sweat as well.
That's a pretty good sweat.
I don't know if anyone else goes through this.
Daniel holds.
Oh. I'm so I got aces. I'm so happy to not go broke.
There's the 9
hell?
of clubs. There's the 9 of clubs.
Come on, Daniel losing both of those is good for the game.
One more
Yeah,
card.
great for the game.
One more card. Come on. Look at one more card.
Thank you.
Never been so excited about getting half my money with aces against tens.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket sevens. Preflop. This is one of those old-school tension spots where everyone at the table knows something big is brewing before the cards even hit the felt. Hellmuth opens to 900 with whatever he has,
Going, Phil.
doing his usual, I'm supposed to win every pot routine. That small raise size in a deep cash game invites action, and Negreanu obliges by re-raising to 3,200 with pocket sevens. For Negreanu, this is a classic squeeze hand. He is on the lighter end of a value range, but against Phil's wide open and the dead money in the middle, sevens play nicely as a pressure tool, strong enough to call a 4-bet if it is small, but also perfect for picking up the pot uncontested a lot of the time. Then Doyle wakes up behind them with pocket jacks and makes it 11,700. That sizing is important. It is big enough to say, I am not messing around, but not so big that it shuts the hand down. From Doyle's point of view, jacks are way too good to just call and risk letting Hellmuth or others peel cheap.
Good chance you'll get it all, buddy.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm just counting it up here. You got 80. It's 85 more.
He wants to isolate Negreanu, punish the lighter 3-bet, and take control of the pot with position.
Okay, I'll raise it.
There goes Doyle. He's all in.
Once or twice, Doyle.
Daniel calls.
It's up to you.
I'll do twice.
What is 37-2?
37-2 each? Is that what you got, 37-2?
Are you paired?
Yeah, I'm paired. You're not paired?
Yeah, I am.
Uh-oh, that's bad for me. Okay, I was hoping you had ace-king.
All right, guys.
All right, put a 7 out there and then a straight.
The flop, 4 queen deuce.
That's a good flop for Doyle.
Ace on the turn.
I just like to double Doyle up. That's what I do. Gets short, I feel bad.
It's a 9.
One for the good guys.
Hey, Doyle, what you always say is always feel good to what?
To win the first one.
Oh, my.
That's the one.
There it is in the door. You got a diamond draw. It's always exciting. I knew I was gonna hit at least 1 7.
No diamonds here.
No diamonds? There's like no way.
No, there's no
doesn't
diamonds
count.
here, I'm saying.
I'm just
Diamond or
saying,
jack's gonna count.
it's gotta be a diamond for sure. Diamond.
It's not a diamond, it's a 5 of spades.
5 of diamonds.
I took one of them away.
More than 22% because there's 5 dead cards right here.
Thanks, Phil. There you go.
There it
Boom,
is.
boom. Nice hand.
Lunkin is looking down on pocket 6s. Pre-flop, this is a classic slow-played trap setting itself up. Mike opens under the gun with king-queen offsuit, which is completely standard at these stack depths. It is a strong Broadway hand, dominates a lot of the calling range, and plays very cleanly post-flop. In the small blind, Lunkin just calls with pocket 6s. That flat looks harmless, but it is already dangerous for Mike. Small and medium pairs love to see flops, especially against an early position raiser whose range is heavy on big cards. O'Dwyer completes in the big blind with king-jack, getting a great price in closing the action. The flop comes paired rainbow. It is one of those rare boards where everyone hits something but one player is hiding a huge hand. Mike absolutely smashes it with trip queens and top kicker. Against 2 blinds who defended and checked to him, his continuation bet for $250,000 is automatic. He gets value from worse queens, pocket pairs, and random floats, while also denying equity from overcards and backdoor draws. What he does not know is that Lunkin has flopped a full house. After checking, Lunkin now springs the first part of the trap and raises to $750,000. That raise is doing 2 jobs at once. It builds a pot with a monster, and it tells a story of a semi-bluff or a weaker queen, not the very top of range. O'Dwyer correctly gets out of the way with king-jack, but Mike is in a very tough spot. Folding trip queens with top kicker to a single raise on this texture is almost impossible. The turn is the 8 of spades, a complete brick for the core battle between these 2 ranges. The paired queen and the 6 still matter most, and any aggressive action now is heavily weighted toward value. Lunkin leads for $1 million into a pot that is already swollen, and that sizing is perfect. It is big enough to put serious pressure on Mike's medium-strength hands.
He shoves.
High call.
Close enough.
Mike McDonald drawing thin.
Did he say 6 or sucks?
He needs a king, queen, or 8. He's got 6 outs. The river card is the case 6.
He should have said queen.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at king-queen offsuit. Pre-flop begins with the kind of loose, splashy action that often precedes a major cooler in these big poker cash games. Roble, playing his usual aggressive game, opens the pot to $1,400 with queen-jack offsuit. It is a standard open, but the table texture is sticky. Viffer decides to flat call with ace-7 suited. This is the first domino to fall. By flatting rather than folding or 3-betting, he invites others to join. Sura, sitting on pocket 3s, makes the correct set mining call, looking to crack someone's big hand. Finally, Negreanu, getting a great price and closing the action, decides to complete.
Played 7 hands in a row. Had to let one go.
We now have a 4-way almost family pot scenario that drastically reduces the value of 1 pair hands and skyrockets the value of sets and big draws. The flop lands with 2 clubs. It is the perfect action flop. Negreanu flops top pair with a strong kicker, a hand that feels good but is treacherous in a 4-way pot. Sura flops the effective nuts with bottom set, and Vipper flops the nut flush draw. The action checks to Viffer, who attacks the pot with a bet of $3,000. This is a standard semi-bluff, trying to buy the pot or build it for his draw. However, Sura is not interested in slow playing. He knows the board is wet and dangerous, so he wakes up with a massive raise to $16,000. He wants to charge the flush, draws the maximum price immediately. This is where the hand goes off the rails for Negreanu. Facing a bet and a large raise in a multi-way pot, top pair is almost never good. The raiser usually has a set or two pair, and the initial better often has a strong draw. Yet, Negreanu makes a critical error. Perhaps relying on his ability to outplay opponents post-flop, or perhaps disbelieving Sura's strength, Negreanu makes the cold call of 16,000. Then, the chaos factor kicks in. Viffer, seeing the massive amount of free money in the middle, decides to flip the coin. He shoves all in for 43,200.
What?
What do we got?
Huh?
What do we got?
Oh, I have a something.
Just top pair.
Your most likely hand here is 3 sixes. Yeah. 3 sixes. The king high flush draw. Who has that? That's you, right? You do, if you have kings and a flush draw, you're in.
Actually, I think he's...
And you got 3 sixes. Based on your pause time. So I guess since I can't beat 3 sixes.
Daniel hasn't put anyone on anything that should make him want to call.
Weird.
Daniel folds.
I have the flush draw.
Yeah, I know
I
that.
hope you have.
Threes.
You have 3 threes?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Let's see what we got, gentlemen.
I have the ace-7 of clubs.
They're going to run it once. Viffer's going to need to hit a club or a running 4-5 for a straight, or he will be felted. And if Bobby can win this hand, he'll be back in the positive. To the turn. 6 of diamonds, full boat for Bobby Sura. It's over.
Full house.
I can't win. Gentlemen, I get to go home. I should have left with Tony G. Loose cannon.
See you, Viv.
Viffer. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man.
But you, my man, I got to shake your hand. For real?
Appreciate it.
You done outplayed us all. Good for you.
Appreciate it, man.
Take it easy, guys.
Later, Viv.
Classy exit.
Scott Seaver is looking down at 7-5 suited.
Mike, because I have a question to ask Tony, but I want nobody to hear. Do you give lessons? Can I get a private lesson?
Pre-flop begins with a standard aggression that quickly evolves into a deceptive tactical battle. Viffer opens the pot to 1,200. Scott Seaver, sitting with 7-5 suited, decides to make the call. This is a classic Seaver spot. He is playing a speculative hand that flops well, hoping to crack a big pair or outmaneuver Viffer post-flop using position and math. The action moves to Tony G, the loudmouth of the table, who looks down at ace-8 offsuit. While this hand is often a fold against a raise and a call, Tony's ego and desire to defend his territory compel him to call. The flop falls, a texture that connects loosely with the board but doesn't immediately ignite the fireworks. The turn brings the 5, a card that drastically alters the landscape for Scott Seaver. He has now improved to a disguised monster in a checked around pot.
See if I qualify.
If you qualified, you have to call.
Losing but qualified.
I'm trying to reach out and hit that pot still.
Tony G, sensing weakness after 2 streets of checking, obliges. He fires a bet of 4,000 with nothing but ace-high. Viffer, however, is not ready to yield. Having underrepresented his hand on the flop, he views Tony's bet as exactly what it is, a bluff.
I'm all in.
Could qualify for a home loan with that bet. He's all in, 34,500. Tony's out.
I have no draw and no pair.
Viffer checked the flop, gave Seaver a free card.
I have a pair and a draw.
A flush draw here.
And they're probably both dead.
Viffer's actual equity is just shy of the right odds to call.
Could be making a move.
But he lays it down.
That's the Scott Seaver I know and love.
Tony G is looking down on pocket 3s. Pre-flop, this looks like a completely standard spot that quietly plants the seeds for disaster. Harlow opens jacks, which is automatic. Tony G peels on the button with pocket 3s, happy to take a flop in position and try to flop a set. And Mercier comes along from the blinds with 6-5, a classic speculative hand that plays very well in multi-way pots. No one is doing anything out of line, but the ranges are now perfectly set up for a big cooler on the right texture. That texture arrives immediately. The flop comes as a dream for both Tony and Mercier in very different ways. Tony has flopped bottom set, which against a late position open and a bunch of callers is usually miles ahead and wants to start shoveling money into the middle. Mercier, however, has the 6-5 and quietly flops the straight. When Mercier checks, Harlow does what every pre-flop raiser should do on this board and fires 4,000 for value and protection with his overpair. Tony's raise to 12,000 is textbook with a set on such a wet board. He charges all the straight in combo draws, and he happily gets action from overpairs like jacks, queens, or kings. Mercier now springs the trap, check re-raising to 29,000. From his seat, this sizing builds the pot while still looking like it could be a draw or a smaller made hand, and it gives Harlow a chance to make a mistake behind. Harlow correctly gets out of the way, leaving Tony and Mercier heads up. Once Harlow folds, Tony's decision...
Tony puts them all in.
Call.
Quick call from Jason.
Wow, what a flop.
I just run it once. Better for the TV viewer.
Good luck, boys.
Tony will need the board to pair.
It doesn't on the turn.
I want to feel his heart rate. Jason.
Feel mine.
Yours, we're not, whatever, Yours is gonna ding, ding, ding. His is like ding, ding. Close your eyes, kid. You'll know by the reaction.
The river. The 6 of clubs.
113.
Tony G is looking down on Queen 3 suited. Pre-flop. This is Tony G doing what he does best, setting the tone of the table. He opens the action with a hand that is nowhere near premium, but plays reasonably when he can take pots away with pressure and occasionally hit disguised flushes. Helmuth just calls with pocket tens, which already starts to define ranges. When Phil flats instead of 3-betting, he keeps in all the weaker hands he hopes to control post-flop, but he also invites the rest of the table to join. Then Brunson in the big blind completes with Jack-10, closing the action and taking a very fair price with a connected, Broadway-adjacent hand. The flop comes and it poses more questions than it gives answers. And instantly everyone has something to think about. Tony, as the pre-flop raiser, continues for 5,000. From his point of view, this board is ideal for a continuation bet. It connects with his suited open by giving him a queen-high flush draw. It is hard for anyone to have a monster aside from sets or Jack-X, and he can represent overpairs that he does not actually hold. Brunson's raise to 25,000 is where the hand sharpens. With Jack-10, he has top pair with a solid kicker and wants to deny cheap cards to exactly the kind of holdings that are out there. Overcards with diamonds, smaller pairs with diamonds, and straight draws. By raising, he charges all of those while still expecting calls from weaker jacks and perhaps stubborn overpairs that do not believe him.
Is this for real? Are they recording this? I mean,
Are you recording this?
is this for real? I mean, Nice. It's just so much fun here. I mean,
If it's not your first time here, please make sure to like and subscribe.
All in.
And if it's your first video ever, drop by in the comments and say hi. I will reply to everyone. Let's keep going, because the pots get bigger and the reactions get wilder.
Seen that show before.
And it works. Quick fold from Doyle.
Cool. I wanted to fill in, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to participate. But you did. That's all.
don't worry, Tony. I just had pocket tens. That's all. I just had a bad feeling you had the queens. Yeah. I had a bad feeling you had 2 queens before the flop, because every time I flop top pair, you have something. Every time I have a big hand, you have something. So.
Just wanted to give you a go. A ride.
Phil Lack is looking down at ace-jack offsuit. Pre-flop. Action begins with a unique dynamic that instantly inflates the stakes. A double straddle is on. This forces the players to play for a bloated pot before a single card is dealt, widening ranges and encouraging loose aggression. Phil Lack, known for his tight play, finds ace-jack of diamonds. In this lineup, this is a premium holding, yet Lack decides to just flat call the straddle rather than raising to isolate. This passive play brings Perkins along with 10-3 offsuit, a hand that has no business being in the pot, but Perkins loves to splash around. The result is a three-way pot where ranges are wide, undefined, and dangerous. The flop falls a texture that hits the high card heavy ranges of the callers. Perkins checks his air, and the action falls to Williams. Despite having completely missed the board with only king high, Williams decides to represent the queen.
I wasn't going to call. I figure if I call, then you try and make a move. Then you guys crash into each other. One of you gets wounded. Then I'm going to get you.
Folds.
I like it. Planning for the future.
Planning. One of you guys are gonna get wounded.
The turn brings the jack, a card that drastically shifts the power balance. Lack has now improved to trips, giving him a stranglehold on the hand. Williams, unaware that he is drawing dead, decides to tell a convincing story. He fires a second barrel of 14,500. This is the critical strategic error. By firing again, Williams is polarizing his range to either a strong queen or a complete bluff. He is trying to fold out a hand exactly like the one Lack used to have, a weak pair or a floating 7. The river is the 4, a complete brick that changes nothing. Williams, having fired 2 shells and received 2 calls, finally hits the brakes.
All in.
Williams folds.
9-10.
Man, Joe, I'm telling you, you gotta have one of these rushes. It feels electric. It's better than cruising over a cliff. I mean, pre-hit the earth. The feeling of adrenaline, the rush.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at pocket queens. Pre-flop, this is one of those classic big pair collision spots where the trap is sprung before a flop is even dealt. Hellmuth opens to 800 with completely standard and absolutely expecting to be ahead of most of the table.
I have the button. I shouldn't even look. I should just decide I'm gonna win. Oh, I don't have to decide I'm gonna win. I'm just gonna win.
Lock calls.
I'm just gonna win this one.
Lock flats, which already narrows him to a lot of medium-strength hands and some traps.
How about the pot?
Bill Perkins comes in with the pot.
Little pottage.
Pottage in the cottage.
Pottage.
In the cottage.
That sizing is fine. It isolates the opener, punishes Lock's call, and announces a very strong range.
How much do you have there anyway?
What is it?
Nothing.
You keep saying not much, and this is a 25K chip, kid.
Nothing. I don't know.
Hellmuth looks down at queens, sees Lock's dead money in the middle and the wide public perception that Perkins can be splashy, and decides to...
All right, I raise the pot too.
Hi-ya!
It is a sizing that does 2 things at once. It tries to shut Leak out, and it tests Perkins to see whether he really has it or is just leaning on position.
What are my choices?
Ship it, call, or fold.
I re-raise the pot.
All right, I'm all in. I'm all in.
It's all in. Okay. Aces or?
I got queens.
I have kings.
Holy cow.
I mean, let's just run it once, I guess.
Go.
I decided in advance I'm only going to run it once today.
You know what? Poker should get back to this one-time thing. It's so manly. It's like the West. We're gonna go find gold and go into the West and run it one time.
6-5-8, all hearts. Turn. Ace of diamonds. 10 of clubs, and Perkins is going to double up.
Nice hand.
Thank you. Ta-da! I finally won a hand. I had maximum tilt juice. It was like overdrive.
I mean, the businessman, you know, he shows up with kings when he has 43,000. Come on. So ridiculous what happens to me in this game.
Phil Lack is looking down at pocket 7s.
I think he plays pretty well.
You really mean that? I almost want to bet you 10K you can't pass a lie detector test. Saying that you believe he plays really well.
Antonio's my PR guy for me getting paid off in these games and stuff, you know? I slip him a little.
I haven't had a 3 of a kind in 130 hands. You just come right in and...
Hockey sticks for Lock.
No problem.
Min raises.
I mean, that's your image. You don't even, like the guy crying calls with 3 kings, you know?
Cassavetes
Crying
calls.
call with 3 kings, yeah. There's no raise there, sir.
Yeah, just check, call.
Pre-flop begins with a fascinating mix of professional cunning and Hollywood ambition. Lock kicks things off from early position. His hand is squarely in the implied odds category and opens the pot to 800. Nick Cassavetes, the famous film director and a capable amateur, spots an opportunity to set mine with pocket 4s. He makes the disciplined flat call, hoping to flop a miracle. The action then moves to Barry Greenstein in the blinds. Barry has cultivated an image of a tight, solid player for decades. He decides to weaponize this reputation and decides to put in a squeeze play. He raises to 3,500, hoping to leverage his image to force folds from the medium pairs of Lock and Cassavetes. However, the price is too tempting and the stacks are too deep. Both Lack and Cassavetes make the call.
Barry, it looks like a phenomena. That's all you have?
Sorry.
Short stack Barry doing it to the people. It's what, every time I see you on TV.
You gonna let him call you short stack Barry?
He's got like 28,000. He's doing the short stack torture on everyone. And you have like a little fortune, 100, 200.
A little over 100.
The board is terrifying. The action checks to the pre-flop raiser. Greenstein, maintaining his aggression, bets 5,000. He is semi-bluffing, trying to represent an overpair like kings or aces. Lack check raises to 7,200. It is a massive power move that screams strength.
I fold.
Barry convinces himself that Lack is making a move with a draw.
Moves all in for 34,000.
Come on, Barry, one time.
And Lock insta-calls.
Handshake. Oh, I sure would have liked
Hey, how about this, Barry? We do it 3 times, but only the first and last times count.
One time. Punish the Unabomber.
Okay, how about this, Barry? We run it 2 times, but only the second time counts. Because the first one I don't feel good about. Come on.
Oh,
2
I like
times.
that. The second
2
one
times,
counts.
the second one counts. Come on, you know as a math guy, it's the same thing. 1 time, just the first one, that's the one that has to count.
fold?
8 of hearts.
The first one's going to be a loss. I can feel the
How do
second
you
one's
just
gonna
come
win.
in and make hands like this? Is why he wins. I'm sitting here for 10 hours.
This guy's not good. And then I get
3
involved, the guy
kings.
will
Top
want.
set. I mean, it's unreal. It's just
Yeah,
unreal.
except now I'm against an opponent who runs it once.
And then he raises it 75,000. There you go.
Let's put an 8 of hearts out there.
8 of hearts.
4 spades.
Oh, boy.
Cassavetes would have made a set.
Set over set. That's so sick.
To the river, 5 of spades, and Barry has gone broke.
Wow. Wow.
Now you and I would have had action with the 5
Oh,
on the river.
we would have gotten it. We would have gotten
You
it
would've
all
got
in.
all?
Yeah, we would have the whole thing. All you have to do is not
No,
raise
you
like
bet
a
he
monkey.
calls. Bet call.
Well, I said,
It's the
what
luck.
am I supposed to do?
LOL Cashmans.
Bill Perkins is looking down at Queen 8 offsuit.
You can't let him hit the 2-outers.
I don't think you know how to beat this game.
If he had 2 9s and he just shoved there, and he just put in like 80,000, you think that's good poker because he won?
No,
Is that good poker because he won? Or
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
What
he
are you
made the
saying
move
exactly?
on the right moment and in the right spot. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
Because,
so he's
he
playing
was
really good
getting
poker.
scared.
So he's like a great player now, huh? What are you saying? I
You
want
don't
to hear you say
understand what
it.
I'm saying. You don't
Well,
understand what I'm
tell
saying.
me. He's a great player, right? This guy.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
Pre-flop sets the stage for a classic collision between a fearless professional and a wealthy amateur who refuses to back down.
It was great poker. I folded. He got me off a pair.
Dario Minieri, the aggressive Italian pro known for his hyper-loose style, opens the pot to 1,100 with ace-queen suited. It is a standard open, but the action gets interesting immediately. The flop falls a texture that spells disaster for the amateur. Both Minieri and Perkins flop top pair, but the difference in kickers is catastrophic.
He's up like 100 again or something. the young Shaolin monk.
It's awesome.
Minieri starts with a continuation bet of 2,100. Elke, holding 2 overcards and a gut shot straight draw, makes a sticky call, refusing to give up just yet. Then, Perkins decides to take control. Misreading the strength of his hand and likely putting the pros on draws or weaker pairs, he raises to 10,000. This is a massive overplay. By raising top pair with a weak kicker in a multi-way pot, Perkins effectively isolates himself against hands that crush him. He folds out the worse hands and keeps in the better ones. Minieri, realizing he has the amateur dominated, makes the disciplined call. He doesn't need to re-raise yet. He wants to keep Perkins on the hook. Elke, realizing he is sandwiched between a raiser and a caller, wisely gets out of the way. Minieri checks the turn. A brilliant tactical move. He feigns weakness and invites Perkins to fire again. And Perkins does take the bait. He bets 15,000, fully convinced that his queen is the best hand. He is value owning himself betting for value when he is actually behind.
56.1 more.
Minieri moves all in for 70,600.
Minieri springs the trap. He shoves all in for a total of 70,600. This is the moment of truth. Perkins has bloated the pot with a marginal hand and is now facing a shove that represents extreme strength.
You must have me beat. Yeah, just go look at my pocket for a second. This doesn't go on the table. Let me see what I got left.
Tell me what you have and look at my face.
I bet you don't.
Come on, I can't get an edge on that because I'm already made my bet. I did already my bet.
Are you gonna show your hand?
I can't answer this now.
Amanda!
I can't answer this now.
Can she make you show your hand?
I don't want him to show his hand.
Oh, come on, guys. Amanda, you got that one right. That was a good answer, because the hand's not really over.
Just for agony's sake, I think your hand's worth $56,000. I want to see your hand.
He calls.
Ace queen.
You got it.
What do you have?
Queen 8.
How many times you want to run?
3.
Okay.
River number 1, 5.
5.
You didn't have any eights. I gotta give you good news.
River number 2, tray of spades.
Oh, good talking, Dario.
Shot for an 8. For my friend, 1 time for Texas, an 8 for Texas.
This game's sick.
Texas, you
River number 3 goes to Dario.
Take it.
Ship full cargo to the Italian.
They ship 80,000 with 1 pair at this table.
All right, let's rebind.
Vanessa Selbst is looking down at Jack 7 suited.
Vanessa may be steaming a bit after that last hand. Looks like she's getting right back on the horse.
Pre-flop begins with a sequence that has become legendary in the poker world, not for its brilliance, but as a cautionary tale of what happens when leveling wars go completely off the rails.
He parlayed $50 into 50,000 one weekend.
And then that 50,000 is now what?
I don't know, 40 million or something.
7.2 million or something?
But I was like,
what's it like to have 7.2 million?
I would not know.
Gotta be more than 7.2.
Right, it's more than 7.2. 2 of the greatest poker minds.
I know, I like watching this stuff and not being in the hand.
Spirit and Vanessa battles.
Friedman, a veteran of the high-stakes online streets, looks down at pocket aces. He puts in a standard 3-bet to 4,000, looking to build a pot with the nuts. At this point, most players with Jack 7 would simply fold and move on to the next hand. But Vanessa decides to fight. She believes Friedman is attacking her opening range light, so she puts in a cold 4-bet to 13,200. She is turning her hand into a bluff, trying to re-steal the initiative. Friedman, holding the aces, must be delighted. He doesn't slow play. He 5-bets to 35,000. This should be the end of the line.
30? 35.
Vanessa convinces herself that Friedman knows she is aggressive and is therefore 5-betting light to exploit her. She decides to represent the only hand that beats a bluff. Pocket aces. In a move that shocked the table, she 6-bets to 106,200. She has effectively turned Jack 7 into a massive bluff for her entire stack, trying to force a fold from a range that simply cannot fold.
I'm all in.
Pralada's all in.
It is a mistake. I call.
Vanessa calls.
I can't.
Aces for Pralada.
No.
He's got aces.
Yeah, I know.
I'll bet you
How
he's got
many do you
aces.
want to run it?
He has aces.
It's like 100%.
Of course. She has ace, king, or kings.
Nope, I have nothing. Twice?
Whatever you want.
Let's do 3 times.
Sure.
Okay.
She has live cards. Oh boy.
How much do you have?
He's got you covered, I think.
60,
Even worse, some of Vanessa's outs have been folded, so she's a bigger dog than she thinks. King 4-5.
That's not good.
6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds.
Don't waste it. God.
To the turn. 9 of hearts.
All right. Put a deuce of clubs. Oh, ace of clubs is good. I'm such a. Why do I do this to myself? Every time. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing. I'm just,
Pretty sure he was laughing. 8 King 5 2 diamonds flush draw for Vanessa.
There's already a diamond over there.
There it is. That's the spirit. Show the other diamonds.
Yeah, 6 of diamonds would definitely be more useful here than it was in the last one.
Turn 5 of hearts.
Wow, Pralad is strong. How did he dodge it there?
No diamond, 3 of clubs.
What a brick.
Break ball.
Super brick.
Bricktastic. So Pralada's 2/3 of the way to scooping the biggest pot ever won on the big game. What an absolute gift from Vanessa. 4-6 King, 3 more bricks. This is getting hard to watch.
Not even a sweat.
Deuce of spades.
Nice hand.
Wow, Pralad did it. That's sick.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at ace-jack offsuit. Pre-flop begins with a scenario that is practically designed to tilt Phil Hellmuth before a single card is pitched. The game is featuring a straddle from Jennifer Tilly and a double straddle from Tony G, which effectively cuts the effective stack sizes in half.
All over straddle, all over.
Double straddle from Tony.
You're taking away my straddle energy.
No, I'm putting more money in there for the good players.
That's like wasted money
You can raise him comfortably knowing that he hasn't looked at his cards.
This structure forces players to loosen up and fight for the pot, but it also amplifies the penalty for mistakes. Hellmuth decides to attack. In a vacuum, this is a standard aggressive play.
All right, I opened for the pot.
Pots it.
And you looked, right?
Well,
I think I looked. Allegedly, I looked.
Tony.
I'm all in.
Pot limit, brah.
Without looking?
Without looking.
Pretty sure he looked.
Well, you can't be all in.
60.
Tony G tries to just shove here to deny equity, but he forgets the game is pot limit, so he actually 3-bets to 21,600.
You slow down. You slow down a bit. You got to save the rest.
It is large enough to commit a significant portion of chips, but it is not an all-in, which leaves the door open for Phil to make a catastrophic error.
It's hard to believe that you always have a hand against me.
Look, you could see the flop and get rid of it as well.
Hellmuth takes the bait hook, line, and sinker. He looks at his ace-jack, a hand that is notoriously difficult to play against a 3-bet, and decides that Tony is simply splashing around.
I'm not looking. I haven't looked. I don't care. I know it's a random hand, and I got a random hand.
Wow, all that talking makes me think he's strong. I was for sure going to call before that.
15 on top, Tony.
He's saying he hasn't looked, though.
He most certainly looked. Did no one see him?
He's saying you didn't look?
Yeah, you wouldn't lie, Tony, would you?
I wouldn't lie. You can
There
check
you go.
my hand if you want. You can tell him the truth.
You didn't look at either card.
I haven't looked.
You promise?
Ask Joe. I mean, I haven't
I
looked.
can't say anything, but
I'm not going to look.
it's between you and Phil.
Well, if you haven't looked, I guess I'll just move in.
All
Phil ships and Tony calls.
right, you're close. You're up there.
Oh, you lied.
Of course I lied. It's poker, Phil. What do you think this is?
That's messed up.
So messed up.
Wow.
What do you think? I'm blind? How many times do you want to run
Well, I asked you if you had looked or not.
it? You want to run it how many times?
I'll let you choose, Tony.
Three
I mean,
times.
I
Three
always
times.
lose, so. You kind of deserve to lose the first
I
one.
do deserve. I hope you win one.
Why would you lie? I mean, no, let's consider totally not uncool, man. I mean, it's not right.
I feel it's just a game.
That's etiquette, though. I mean, you don't
Phil,
say
what
you were
happens
blind
on
when
this
you were blind.
table in play is just a game. We tell whatever we want.
So
When do you
all
tell
the
the
rules
truth?
of poker are just thrown out the window, and this really bad etiquette. But
What do you think? I'm a kid? Phil.
we're talking about etiquette.
I'm
so
a poker
you're
player.
the kind of guy that goes to the golf course, and when someone's playing you a big money match, you scream in the middle of their backswing.
You think that's the same thing?
Yes, I
don't
know
think
it's
that's
the same
thing. I don't
Listen,
think so.
if you pulled all the
We're
top
talking
players,
about the
you'd get
strength
crushed.
of our hand, and I'm selling
Let's just
you.
bet
hang on.
100,000 if we pull the top 20 players. We'll ask about your etiquette.
Phil is looking for sympathy from the table, but the real court of opinion is in the comments. Was Tony out of line, or is Phil just being the poker brat? Let me know whose side you're on.
Why?
And I'm destroying you.
You
in
know it's
every
bad
part
etiquette.
of the game.
You don't say you haven't looked at your cards when you haven't looked at your cards. You don't do that.
Okay, well
It's
then
like
I'm
a
wrong.
rule of poker. It's like it's,
Well,
it's
why'd you call?
horrible etiquette. Because I thought you hadn't looked at your cards.
Come on, Phil.
Well, if you want 25,000 this bad, you can have it.
You have to
How
pay
many times
attention
are we
to the
dealing?
game, Phil. If you're a professional player, you would pay attention to me looking at my hand. We're doing it 3
Okay,
times.
how many times? 3 times?
3 times. I admit that my
You deserve to
etiquette
lose the
is
first
terrible.
one again.
I do.
So you know, for that.
Karmically, he deserves to lose all 3. What a villain. I drink your milkshake.
So they're going to run it 3 times with the winner of each run taking a third of the pot. Flop. King 9 tray.
Tony pairs his king. Phil drawing nearly dead.
How happy are you now?
Turns a jack.
That's bad for me.
River ace of diamonds.
That's kind of fair. Let's even out the deck a bit.
I mean, you showed your true colors, which is bad for you here.
Here comes flop number 2. 7, 5, 10. No help to Phil.
That's not
You
good.
really, I don't think you're the kind of guy that wants to show your true colors all the time.
Well, it's just your true colors can't escape you. You are who you are, Phil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the way I am.
Turn number 2. Ace of clubs. River another 5, and Tony G takes the second run.
Don't rush. Don't rush. We might keep you in.
Queen, queen, king, and Phil picks up some outs. Turn 7. No help to Phil. It's a jack.
Whoa! You got there.
That's not cool.
No, he didn't.
No. Sorry. I was just joking, Phil. Did you believe me again? Was
No,
that bad
I didn't
etiquette
believe you.
too?
So Tony, look, you're loaning me 50,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I don't accept it.
Okay. No problem.
But good game, man.
All right. I'm sorry, Phil. I really am. I'm sorry. I think you should retire. I think it's over. I think you're not there anymore, Phil.
Good thing we do.
All right, thanks.
I think you should take your coach, get a tandem bike, and get the hell out of here.
Phil Lack is looking down at 6-7 suited.
By the way, she loves board games.
See?
Amanda was guessing. She's like, okay, so she doesn't like movies, she doesn't like TV. She
She likes
probably
games.
She's not fun, so she must be geeky.
No, not you.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm geeky. I'm a stats geek, like big time.
Oh, I'm totally geeky. I'm proud
You
of
are
it.
geeky? It's okay. Geeks are
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. The geeks didn't know that they were on the same page. They lost track of things for a second.
Like, no,
Okay,
I'm
good,
geeky.
good.
You're geeky. No, I'm geeky.
Pre-flop sets the stage for a collision between one of the most eccentric minds in poker and one of its most fearless gamblers.
Oh, Muffin's playing. I can see it.
Phil Lack, living up to his persona, opens the action to 800 with 7-6 of spades. It is a speculative hand, the kind that relies entirely on hitting the board hard to be playable. Rick Salomon, sitting with pocket eights, decides that 800 is too cheap a price. He 3-bets to 3,000, a standard aggressive maneuver designed to punish Lack's wide-opening range. Lack, however, is out of position but refuses to fold.
She's gonna let it go.
So you raised or straddled?
He don't straddle.
How much do I owe this pot? 3K? All right, sir.
Gamble.
Good luck to both of us.
The flop falls perfectly for Lack. He has hit top 2 pair, a monster in a 3-bet pot. However, the board is dangerous. There are flush draws and straight possibilities.
I checked the sick one.
Lack checks, feigning weakness to set the trap.
5,000.
I raised the sick one.
Salomon, holding an overpair to the board and a gut shot straight draw, falls right into it. He bets 5,000, trying to protect his hand.
You don't have to call, sir. You can just let it go.
Lack springs to life immediately. Lack knows that on this wet texture, slow playing is dangerous.
What are you doing, kid?
He wants to build the pot now. Salomon, stubborn and holding an overpair, convinces himself that Lack is on a draw. He makes the call, refusing to believe he is crushed.
Rick, what do you want, kid? Tell me what you want. You want a specific card, kid?
The turn brings the 3, a card that complicates the board even further. It brings a possible straight for a 5, but more importantly, it keeps Lack's 2-pair well ahead of Salomon's 1-pair.
How much more do you have, son?
60K. 63,000.
Lack, having seized the betting lead, decides to go for the finisher. He fires a massive bet of...
I'm gonna bet 42,400.
However, Rick Salomon is not a player who likes to lay down pretty pairs. He convinces himself that Lack is bullying him with a flush draw or a lower pair.
There's no time to use the things people want from the past.
It is a move born of frustration and ego. He is trying to force Lack off a chop or a draw.
How much more is it?
Getting 6.5 to 1.
How much more? This is a great show.
I think I'm going broke. It's 21 more? That's it? 21,100. Almost as if the gods have decided to torture me, keeping it nice and small.
Lock calls Rick's all in.
Rick Salomon, want to run it 3 times?
What do you got?
Well, I got a kind of hand where running it 3 times would be fun for me.
Well, you show me your hand. I'll talk about it.
Will you show me yours?
Yeah, I promise.
I got 2 pair.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, great. Now you want to run it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times, buddy. How about 4 times, but the 3rd time doesn't count? No 5s!
I don't think I'm winning any.
King of spades.
I symbolically want to show what's going on. This is mine. No matter what comes, at least I got one.
That's you.
Power card, too. It's a king. It's a good high card for strength, you know, to meditate on strength. Okay, bring it out already.
River number 2, 10 of spades.
That's 2. Okay, we got to give one.
Lock wins
to Rick
again.
Salomon. This wouldn't be fair.
I just want to, you know, be near you if it comes and be near you if it doesn't come.
Oh,
That's the right idea. Yeah, look at that. It's even 40% of a straight flush right here forming. So there's power strength. But I'm still okay if I lose, because you don't always
get the
make
misery
straight
over with, or what?
Yeah,
10 of diamonds on the river. He scoops.
I'm buying it for 50. Nice hand.
Lock, how do you do it?
It's weird. I thought I was value betting when I bet the turn 40-something too. But then when I was calling, I was like 6. So I was like, wow, why did I step into this?
G is looking down at King Jack offsuit. Preflop begins with a situation that highlights the danger of playing dominated Broadway cards against an aggressive opponent. G opens the pot to 1,600 with King Jack offsuit. It is a standard open, but when Salomon looks down at pocket jacks and 3-bets to 5,400, the dynamic shifts instantly. A disciplined player usually folds King Jack here. It is crushed by the 3-betters' range of big pairs and ace-king. However, G decides to get stubborn. She makes the call out of position, creating a bloated pot with a hand that is destined to make expensive second-best pairs. By calling, she effectively caps her range, while Salomon retains the advantage of both position and a stronger perceived range. The flop comes down a texture that is action-packed and dangerous for both players. G has flopped a massive open-ended straight draw. Any ace or nine will give her a Broadway straight. However, strictly speaking, she only has king high. Salomon, holding pocket jacks, sees the queen and realizes his hand has shrunk to a mere bluff catcher. He wisely checks, exercising pot control. He knows that if he bets and gets raised, he has to fold, so checking allows him to see what G wants to do. G seizes the opportunity to semi-bluff, firing a hefty bet of 8,000. She is trying to represent a queen, hoping to fold out hands exactly like Salomon's. He, however, is not a believer. He sniffs out the aggression as a draw or a weaker pair and makes the call, refusing to be bullied off his hand just yet. The turn brings the 7, a complete brick that changes nothing. Salomon checks for a second time, sticking to his defensive strategy. This check is the green light for G.
I'm all in.
Nicannon's all in.
All of it.
Shoving was the right move, I think, but she just looked so unhappy when she did it.
Oh, I got 2 jacks. How much is it? Sorry.
Not much more. Very slim chance Rick folds. He's getting better than 2-1. If Rick calls, this could be the end of the loose cannon.
I call.
And he does.
He's called. She's got a draw.
Wow, Solomon.
All right. Good call. She has outs. She needs an ace, king, or a 9.
Once, twice, 3 times?
Once.
She wants 1 time. We got a gambolero in the house.
I'm using my 1 time. Should have used it during the queens, apparently, but...
Okay. It's a good move anyway. He thought about it. You know, he did. He thought, I mean, you know, it's like either dead or she's got outs. Here it comes.
It's a queen.
Thanks.
Sorry. You played really good, though.
That's going to do it for Courtney G. Her dreams of winning here to jumpstart a career as a poker pro have been dashed.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry.
Oh, nice meeting you.
Okay.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on 5-4 suited. Pre-flopman. This is a classic clash between perceived strength and disguised equity. Johanna 3-bets big with ace-queen, exactly the kind of hand that wants to isolate the opener and play a bloated pot from position.
Okay, I bet.
Negreanu flats on the button with 5-4 of hearts, fully aware that he is dominated high card-wise but armed with a hand that smashes low, connected boards. Once George gets out of the way, Johanna thinks she has created a clean heads-up spot against a capped calling range.
I pay.
When in reality, she has invited one of the worst possible suited connectors to the party. The flop comes a disaster for Johanna's range. Her overcards and backdoor possibilities shrink in value while Negreanu quietly connects as hard as it gets, a made straight with a live flush draw. When she continuation bets 100,000, it is completely standard. This is the board she is supposed to attack after 3-betting pre. Negreanu just check calls, and that passive line is lethal. From her side, it looks like exactly what she wants to see. The turn brings the ace, finally giving Johanna top pair on top of her draw and seemingly flipping the script. She barrels 200,000, and now Negreanu springs the trap, check raising to 500,000. That raise is polar, strong value, or big bluffs, and against most players, ace-queen with a strong draw feels too good to fold.
500. 3 more.
Negreanu's line almost never contains bluffs here. He has been slow playing on an ultra-wet flop, and the ace is a perfect card for him to attack.
I'm all in.
I call.
An all-in and a call.
I have it. She's a flush draw too?
4 or 5 of hearts for
8 of hearts for her. Sick hand, huh?
That doesn't help her.
That was very unlucky.
Wow, what a hand.
Yeah.
Tony G is looking down on ace-jack offsuit. Pre-flop. This is one of those spots where the seeds of disaster get planted before anyone sees a board. Tony G opens the pot with ace-jack offsuit, exactly the kind of hand he is happy to lean on the table with. He is there to apply pressure, not to wait around for premiums. Seaver calls with King Deuce of Hearts, a loose but very on-brand suited peel against Tony's wide-opening range. He is looking to tangle, take flops, and make Tony play post-flop. With these two,
Too easy.
this is still completely standard deep stack poker, but you can already feel the hand turning into a little ego test between two players who love putting each other in tough spots. The texture instantly turns the hand into a clash of extremes. Tony has the nut flush draw with ace-jack, plus a gut shot to the 10 and 2 overcards to Seaver's weaker one-pair holdings. Seaver, meanwhile, has quietly flopped top and bottom 2-pair on a monotone board with no club in his hand. It is a dream and a nightmare at the same time, massively ahead of all the bear club draws and random kings, but stone dead if anyone already has a made flush.
I'm all in.
Scott's all in. Tony calls.
Run it once again, or? Yeah. Okay.
He has 2-pair. He has the straight. The straight for sure. Tony, you have a straight.
No.
You have a straight.
This is, again, a too many outs syndrome. I wish he just had ace-jack no club, but then I'd be in trouble. Ace-jack with the club, though? Too many outs.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Jack on the turn.
Okay, now it could be an ace, jack, 10.
Like I said, this is way too many outs syndrome. Way too many outs.
The river. A brick.
Unreal.
Well done.
You never win any hand.
No.
Crazy.
That's it. Sorry, Tony.
Tony G is looking down on pocket sixes.
Liberal rules for straddling.
What are the rules?
Any position, any amount you like.
Whatever you want, you can just put 10,000.
People have, 100,000 I've seen.
Wow.
Straddle?
All the time.
$100,000
$100,000 straddle.
All the time.
If the
It'd be
guy
kind of hard to fold if you bought him for 150.
Pre-flop, this is classic. Everybody's got a story set up in a 3-bet pot. Negreanu opens light from early position with 7-5 offsuit, doing what he does best, putting chips in and trusting his post-flop edge. Corkins wakes up with ace-king and makes it 10K, completely standard. He is isolating the opener, expecting to play a big pot heads up with the range and skill advantage. Then Tony G in the blinds looks down at pocket sixes and just flats, which is already interesting. Sixes hate getting 4-bet and blown off their equity, but they love seeing 3-way flops with deep stacks. When Negreanu completes, you end up with a bloated 3-bet pot where Corkins has the range advantage.
Join the party.
It's just 2 chips.
Tony has the sneaky set potential, and Negreanu is along for the ride with a hand that will usually have to give up. The flop comes about as good as it gets for Tony. Corkins smashes the board in the obvious way with top pair, top kicker, but Tony absolutely buries it underneath with bottom set. Negreanu's 7-5 connects only with the 6, giving him some weak backdoor dreams, but he is already in trouble if money goes in.
Put a little pressure on.
Maximum pot.
At least you're not in. That means I got a chance or a fold. It's when they move straight in, then you it.
Hoyt is in a wicked spot.
Right, I'm drawing live no matter what. Believe me, whatever you do, I'm alive in this hand. It's not like I'm putting my money in cold dead, you know?
What would you do in this situation? You have Tony G blabbering in your face while you have top pair. Let me know in the comments.
You call 10,000 cold, huh? All right, I'm all in.
Corkins shoves and Tony calls.
Drawn real life.
Hoyt sees how thin he's drawing.
Wow.
How many times would you like to run it?
I think I got to run it, what, 40 times to get one?
40 times to win one.
You want to run it twice? That means...
Okay.
We'll run it
Twice is good.
2 times.
4 of spades on the turn.
I make the
So
nuts.
Tony's won half the pot.
Wow.
Yeah, the absolute nuts.
All right, let's put something out there to give us a bit of hope. Okay? Dealer, I want a big card, a huge card.
It's a queen.
Ooh,
there it is.
Now we need the tan.
The river. It's a king.
How close was that?
Okay, guys.
Really?
Phil Ivey is looking down on 5 deuce suited. Pre-flop, this is a classic clash of ranges rather than hands. Sands opens from early position with ace-5 of hearts, a hand that plays beautifully deep. It cracks big aces, flops disguise 2-pair, and has wheel potential. Ivey defends the big blind with 5-2 of clubs, which looks like garbage, but actually has some sneaky properties here. Getting a good price, he is happy to come along wide and try to make something strange on a board that is supposed to smash the razor. The flop comes Dreamland for Sands and a very awkward heaven for Ivy. Sands has top and bottom pair on a semi-wet texture, the exact sort of board his early position range is supposed to own. Ivy, meanwhile, connects harder than he deserves, middle pair plus a wheel draw. When Ivy checks and Sands fires 64,000, it is a completely standard value bet. He wants calls from Ace-X, pocket pairs, and all the diamond draws. Ivy's call is where the hand starts to get interesting. He is never loving life against an EPC bet on this board, but he has real equity, decent implied odds if a 4 peels, and a range that is supposed to defend some middling pairs and draws. The turn brings the 6 of clubs, which quietly changes a lot. The obvious draws all brick, but Ivy now picks up extra equity and board leverage. His 5-2 becomes a pair plus open-ender on a runout that is getting very hard for Sands to read cleanly in real time. When Ivy checks again and Sands bets 177,000, Sands is still telling a simple story. I had a big hand on the flop, and I still do. He wants to keep extracting from worse aces, stubborn 5s, and the various draws that refuse to fold. From Ivy's seat, though, this second barrel is the signal that it is now or never. If he just calls again, he is going to face a brutal river decision on a pot that is already bloated. Instead, he turns his hand into a pressure tool and rips in a massive check raise to 527,000. That raise is doing 2 things at once. First, it leverages Ivy's range advantage on this texture. From Sands' perspective, the big blind can absolutely have sets, weird 2 pairs like 6-5 or even 4-2 for the pure nuts. Second, it maximizes the value of Ivy's equity when called. He is not bluffing with air. If Sands stands his ground, Ivy still has a real shot to improve.
All in. Guess you could have that, maybe. And I'm not in that bad shape. There's no way you have that. This is so. This one's funny. This one is funny.
Phil Ivy's been spending too much time with Daniel Negreanu.
Okay. All right, okay, I'll call.
Ivy's gonna go for it.
Gulp.
5s and deuces no good. He needs a club or a 4 on the river.
So stupid I am.
Now he's been spending too much time with Yoda. Ivy does have 12 outs, which means he's going to hit a little more than 1 out of every 4 times.
It's a 6 on the river. We lose Phil Ivy.
Yeah, Phil. Thanks.
This time the Doc does take out the IV.
He's just won the biggest pot of the tournament so far. He now has over...
Phil Hellmuth is looking down on Ace-9 offsuit.
Doing an add-on, if no one objects.
No, of course.
I don't object.
Add on for as much as you like. Up to 500,000.
Pre-flop. This is a perfect example of how one aggressive decision can pull 3 other players into a very volatile pot. Brunson opens with 6-5 suited, a classic loose raise that keeps the game flowing and his range wide.
I call.
Hellmuth wakes up with Ace-9 offsuit and chooses a big 3-bet to 12,600. That sizing is doing a lot of work. He wants to isolate the opener, pick up the dead money, and use position plus skill edge rather than pure cards. The problem is the hand itself. Ace-9 offsuit looks pretty, but in a re-raised pot it is in terrible shape against any calling range that includes better aces, big pairs, and suited Broadway.
I raised the pot.
When Wiggins looks down at pocket kings behind all of this, he is in a dream spot and decides just to call. That flat call is very tempting. He keeps all the weaker hands in, disguises his strength, and gives himself a chance to win a huge pot without ever having to face a 4-bet, but it also invites the players behind to come along with speculative holdings.
12-6.
Yep.
Call.
We have some cannon action over here.
And Brunson, getting an excellent price in closing the action, comes along as well.
I know Tony's gonna call it, so I might as well too.
Yeah. I love these big pots.
What a sick hand this is. 4 ways.
I'm not even going anyway next pot, so it's like a free roll for me.
By the time the dealer spreads the flop, Hellmuth's isolation 3-bet has turned into a 4-way pot where his dominated Ace-9 has to navigate 2 deep stacks and one of the strongest starting hands in poker. The flop comes 9-10-9, and the board instantly rewrites everyone's expectations.
That flop looks like you, doesn't it?
No, Phil, I look like me.
17,000.
Phil bets 17,000.
If you look like me, why you bet so much?
Hellmuth, who started the hand with the most questionable value hand, suddenly finds himself holding trips with top kicker. From his point of view, this is about as good as it gets. He blocks full houses with his ace-9, beats every overpair, and is way ahead of any 10x that peeled pre-flop.
36,000.
I love you, Ernest.
I try to gamble, I just can't.
Doyle folds.
I was gonna race. I'm so sick.
Tony G's out.
Wow.
This is almost certainly disaster for our loose cannon.
200,000.
What are you gonna do if I move in? You gonna call?
Phil, of course I have no choice but to, my brother.
You got aces or kings or something, or what?
Man, if I had aces or kings, man, I'd be the man right now, wouldn't I?
Well, I don't think I have a choice here. This is so sick. All right, I guess I'm all in.
I call. Kings.
I got 3 9s.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
What were you slow rolling him for?
Here, man.
Maybe at 10's full. I mean, he was so happy.
That was so
That
unreal.
was torture.
I didn't mean to slow roll. Hold on. How many times do you want to deal it?
Give him.
You want to deal it 4 times? No, that's not.
When
a
you
slow
know
roll.
he's gonna call because he says it.
You know,
and
Phil Lock, why don't you just stay out of why don't you stay out of it?
'Cause I'm right here and I
because
feel bad.
you've been so far out of line to me, and every time we've played, and I'm just sick of it. So why don't you just mind your business?
12,600.
But he's right. It was a pretty sick slow roll.
I'm sorry, because I haven't done anything like that in my whole life.
Were you folding? I can't get away from this. The whole speech. The guy's already in.
He's already got 80% of
Joel
it.
decide.
4 times?
Yeah, it gives you a better chance to
Hey,
win.
damn sure do. Cool.
A jack of hearts.
Queen. Yeah, queen, king.
The river, an ace of diamonds. Round 1 goes to Hellmuth. The turn, a king.
There we go. Full house. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Get me down.
The river's a 3.
15% dog. Ernest has won the second pot.
So that's cool. I'm feeling good right now. Well,
A 7 of spades.
Everybody's rooting for a spade.
It is a spade.
Damn.
Spade up 2-1.
Hey.
That's loose cannon. He's up 2-1.
Why did you go for 4 times? You went.
A queen on the turn.
Jack. There's a jack.
The final river card. It's a king.
That's real. He hit 3 out of 4. He hit 3 out of 4.
That's
with the worst hand. Why is everyone so happy except Phil? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Huh?
Vanessa Selbst is holding pocket 4s. Pre-flop, this is short stack versus big stack brinkmanship at its finest. Vanessa opens to 17,000, a perfectly standard raise from early position at this stage. Small pairs love to see flops, and they do not mind getting called, but they really dislike facing big 3-bets from aggressive players behind. McPhee on the button does exactly that, bumping it to 37,000 with ace-9, a classic light 3-bet candidate. He has position, blockers to the big pairs, and enough equity to continue if called. So far, it is a routine late-stage tournament hand, the kind you see dozens of times, slightly loose open, ambitious 3-bet, everyone testing each other's resolve. The hand turns serious when Vanessa answers with a 4-bet to 79,000. With 4s, she is almost never doing this purely for value.
How much do you have left?
Folding every time here makes his 3 bets too transparent, so he reaches for the next gear and clicks it back to 131,000. That small 5-bet is a statement. He is saying that Vanessa either gives up now or risks her entire stack. Vanessa's response is immediate and decisive,
I'm all in.
turning pocket 4s into a pure test of courage.
Still probably have the best hand.
Strategically, this shove leverages everything in her favor, the pay jump pressure, and McPhee's capped 5-bet sizing. With this jam, she represents exactly the hands that crush ace-9.
Such a sick spot. It's almost enough out there for me to just call it off. And I think I dominate some of your range sometimes. Then crushed if it's just value.
think I have to do it. Title defense. 2 years later, I call.
OMG, he calls!
You have ace jack?
No,
I have a pair.
I have ace 9.
Correct reaction. You're complicit in this too, Selbsty.
What just happened?
Huh? Think that's a snap?
Snap fold, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
The flop has an ace on it!
Sick race.
Nice time.
And another ace for good measure.
Worst play I've ever seen. What? He like goes after me every time. I have no idea why. He's a friend of mine. You put that on TV. It's the worst play ever. I don't know why friends going after me, but he does it every single tournament.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket queens. He opens to $1,200 from early position that raise sizes well for a loose table and keeps his range strong and uncapped. 4 players continue. David Williams flats with pocket kings. Against this many callers, Negreanu's plan is straightforward.
We have some action.
Play pot control against condensed ranges, realize position, and let dominated one-pair hands overplay on later streets. The monotone, king-high board polarizes ranges immediately. Nut advantage lives with suited spades and sets. Top pair advantage sits with the blind callers and late position flats. Mosseri checks.
Everyone take a look, see if they have a spade in their hand.
Calacanis takes a small stab of $4,000 into about $20,000. A sizing that usually represents one pair without a high spade, weak spade draws, or simple information gathering. Negreanu just calls with queens. That flat keeps his range wide and invites dominated value behind to continue. Critically, holding the queen of spades blocks the nut flush combinations and secures useful run-out equity if a 4th spade arrives.
Owen.
And the loose cannon's all in.
Cannon time.
Abe and Jason are out.
Oh boy. Gamble, gamble.
You don't have much money.
26.
Count what you got. Let's have a count of the loose cannon one time.
Boy, here you go.
This could be
Like 75.
this could be that time here.
On the 4.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you're supposed to gamble sooner or later.
Daniel calls.
Pair the board, I call.
David's in 2.
Got a flush.
Oh no! Okay.
Wow.
Well, you would have busted me anyway. Okay, I got a big side pot working. So let's just have a spade.
Let's pair the board.
Just do one time, right?
I would like to do more than one, but actually screw that, one time.
What the heck? That's a spade.
Good hand.
Will's out.
That's why I won that pot for sure. Go ahead, pair the board. What the hell?
All right, he wants to pair it, so just pair it.
It doesn't.
Scooped it.
Wow.
Sick
Nice
hand,
nice
buddy.
hand.
Sick hand. Tell your wife I'm sorry.
Daniel Negreanu is holding ace-10 suited. Pre-flop is all ego and leverage. Tony G opens small Houston flats, and Negreanu snaps on the squeeze to 7K.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, you make it 7,000.
Perfect against 2 wide ranges. Tony G knows Houston's call is weak money and fires back to 24K with pocket 8s, classic isolation, and dare 4-bet. Negreanu takes the button, keeps Tony's bluffs in, and controls the pot. That flat says, I'll outplay you post-flop, keep the range wide. Flop comes rainbow, Negreanu's dream in a 4-bet pot, top pair, ace kicker, clean texture.
I'm all in.
Tony shoves.
Who cares? I guess you got, what do you have, kings now?
I'm committed again.
No, I know you are. Okay, you can show me one if you want.
Even if you gave me $1 million, I wouldn't show you.
$1 million? Oh boy, Tony G. I guess I should, you're a nice guy. You do good things with your money, right?
I do.
You do? All right, I'll give you some more, I guess. All right.
Daniel calls.
You have kings or something?
No, one time. No.
Jack of clubs on the turn.
Oh my God, did that make him more outs? Yeah. I just realized, oh God. I was like, oh Jack, that's a good card.
The river. The king of hearts.
It's a scary one.
Selbst, sitting in the big blind, looks down at a pair of jacks. A strong but tricky hand in this scenario. Facing a raise and a 3-bet, she opts to flat call rather than 4-bet. While a 4-bet would help narrow the field and define her opponent's ranges, it could also bloat the pot. and force her into tough post-flop spots if she's up against a hand like queens, kings, or aces. Her flat call allows her to control the pot size while disguising her hand strength, keeping her range wide enough to include potential traps. The flop lands Queen 2 Jack, and Selbst couldn't have asked for better. Her pair of jacks connects perfectly, giving her middle set and a commanding lead in the hand. Chen, holding Ace-Queen suited, flops top pair with backdoor flush and straight draws, making his hand strong but significantly vulnerable to Selbst's concealed strength. Selbst leads out with 80,000 bet, a sizing that achieves multiple goals. It builds the pot while extracting value from weaker hands like top pair or speculative holdings with equity. Importantly, her bet disguises her hand's full strength. Opponents may interpret it as a standard value bet or even a semi-bluff. Chen, with top pair and additional equity from his backdoor draws, decides to call. From his perspective, Selbst's range from the big blind could include hands like king-queen, queen-jack, or even bluffs, making a fold too conservative. The turn changes the dynamics of the hand with the 8 of diamonds, creating a more draw-heavy board. Selbst still holds the lead with her set of jacks, but the new card introduces a flush draw and enhances the straight possibilities. She increases the pressure with a bet of 150,000. This bet is designed to charge draws like the nut flush and extract further value from hands like Chen's top pair. While the sizing is solid, Selbst may have missed an opportunity to go larger, putting Chen to an even tougher decision. Chen's ace-queen suited improves with the nut flush draw, making his hand significantly stronger in terms of potential equity. He calls the 150,000, which is the correct decision based on the pot odds and his outs to the nut flush. By calling, Chen keeps the pot manageable while preserving his chance to improve on the river. The river delivers the 7, completing Chen's nut flush with ace-queen suited and spelling disaster for Selbst. Unaware of Chen's exact holding but recognizing her set is still vulnerable, Selbst decides to shove all in. However, this move is a misstep. The shove assumes Chen might fold marginal holdings, but his turn call strongly represents a flush, especially the nut flush. A smaller bet, or even a cautious check, could have limited Selbst's losses given the dangerous board texture. Chen barely needs to think. With the nuts, his call is automatic. There's no possible hand on this board that can beat him. He confidently flips over his cards, claiming the massive pot, and leaving Selbst regretting her river shove. Daniel Negreanu is looking down on 10-9 suited.
Who lost the last one? Me, that'd be me. Steaming.
Boom.
This hand sits in the suited connector bucket that plays well. Versus a 3-bet, it has equity versus broadways, realizes well in position, and can call profitably against most small blind ranges.
Such a good spot.
Oh, him again, him and his spots again.
Except you have to act first.
Oh, yeah.
Veldhuis re-raises to $7,000 from the small blind. That sizing represents a fairly standard linear small blind 3-bet, strong aces, broadways, and some pocket pairs. When Negreanu calls, his range keeps most suited connectors, suited broadways, medium pairs, and a few slow plays. Importantly, he retains position and stack to pot depth for post-flop maneuvering. Texture advantage is mixed. The small blind has all over pairs and more ace-10 offsuit. The caller has more 4s and 10x suited. Veldhuis continuation bets 11,500 with ace-queen of diamonds.
I love the 6-spot speech. That was the best part of this hand. It's fun. 11. Huh?
That's a good level, huh?
It was good. 6-spot, boom, raise, da-da-da.
That bet targets folds from unpaired high cards and protects overpairs, while keeping bluffs like 2 overcards with backdoors. Negreanu's call with top pair and excellent runout potential keeps his range uncapped. From Veldhuis's seat, once called, Negreanu's range condenses around 4s, 10s, pocket pairs like jacks through 7s, and sticky backdoors. This is a pivotal card because trips remain the nuts and gives Negreanu a valuable backdoor flush draw. Check-check makes sense for both. Veldhuis's ace-queen has little fold equity versus 4s and 10s and hates getting check-raised. Negreanu's check protects his flop call range, keeps bluffs in, and realizes 2 clean ways to improve, clubs and 9. Negreanu improves to 2-pair, 10s and 9s, while Veldhuis remains with ace-high. From a range view, the river shifts blocker dynamics. Negreanu's line contains more 9x, while Veldhuis remains with ace high.
I'm all in.
So you're saying I made a good check on the turn? Is that what you're claiming? Such level. I mean, you know more about my game than anyone, so is that enough to make the difference for me? I would have felt better if I just bet the turn, you raised, and then I called. That would have been even more fun. Fire it on the river. Are you hoping that I'm going to play good here? I'm so confused.
Daniel calls. And for a change, sees some good news at Showdown.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at ace-jack offsuit. He is raised to $2,000, but he's up against Harlow with pocket eights. And Tony G, he's lurking, and he's not planning to stay quiet for long.
Action begins on Phil. Ace-jack, raised to 2,000. Pocket pair for Russ.
Pot.
Raises to 7,200.
Harlow is the loose cannon in this game, which means he's an amateur who's been given $100,000 to play against 5 pros. Whatever he makes over $100,000, he gets to keep. Meanwhile, Tony G folded, but this is not the last time we see and hear of him this hand.
How much more do you have?
Hellmuth is fishing for information, trying to get a read on the delivery driver. Every second Harlow spends fumbling with his chips gives Phil little clues about how strong he really feels.
Phil calls and gives him the WWE stare down. Hellmuth off the top rope. The flop, 10-6 deuce, 3 clubs. Hellmuth checks the nut flush draw.
Harlow's ahead for now, but Phil's sitting there with 2 overcards, a nut flush draw, and about 27 different ways to ruin this man's whole poker career. If Harlow fires a bet here, things could get messy fast, because Hellmuth is definitely not folding this one soon. But Harlow decides to check it back to him.
The turn gives Russ a set. Hellmuth, chips in hand, leads out to 5,500.
Gotta take a chance sometime.
I'm supposed to think you're weak, right? Because you're talking?
I won't bet more than 9,000 on the river if you call.
I'm all in.
Russ Harlow, all in.
Hellmuth throws out a little feeler bet, just trying to stir the pot. But Harlow responds by setting the whole kitchen on fire. This is actually an incredible read from the delivery driver against arguably the best poker player of all time. Now Phil's got to decide if that nut flush draw is enough to pull him out of the flames, or if he's about to get roasted. He thinks for about 5 minutes and Tony G is starting to lose his patience.
So you potted it before the flop.
It's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
I mean, just make a decision, you know? Like, there's other people in the game, too. You're a professional player playing against a loose cannon. I mean...
Now I'm trying to make a decision for 43,000. Can you just shut the up? Call
You're a professional player?
Call Floorman.
You're insulting everyone. I mean, we're here, we want to play too.
He's completely out of line here. So I
think he's completely out of line because he's been taking forever to make a decision. Against an amateur player coming in here as the best player in the world, taking 15 minutes to make a decision.
I haven't taken 15 minutes. You want to bet on that?
Well, you will.
You're so out of line. You know, your etiquette's horrible. Stay out of this.
Gentlemen,
stay out. Let's hear your ruling.
We're going to put you on the clock right now. You got 1 minute and 10 seconds.
That's your ruling?
Right.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Tony.
Story checks out.
Phil folds. And those are tears of joy.
Jennifer Tilly is looking down on 8-6 suited. Negreanu opens with ace-2 offsuit. That is a light but purposeful steal, using the ace as a blocker to reduce the chance he runs into a premium and leaning on position to realize whatever equity shows up later. Tilly answers with a re-raise. That choice is great against a suspected wide open because suited connectors play cleanly post-flop, deny cheap realization to the opener, and set her up to attack a player who loves to take flops.
It's a little too small, Jen. Phil Lockett is going to be upset with you after that raise size because it's too small. Like,
last time I took advice from you, I lost the tournament.
Sorry.
Negreanu calls rather than 4-betting. He keeps her range wide, carries the positional advantage into a pot that is not yet bloated, and quietly pockets the option to turn later cards into leverage, even when he misses.
Okay, now I'm going to do the dunk bet.
It's not a donk bet because you were the pre-flop raiser.
Oh, okay, it's not a dunk bet.
It's a continuation bet.
A continuation bet.
Tilly follows through for a small C-bet. The sizing stresses floats and gut shots and keeps her range comfortably uncapped.
A lot of bad cards come off, and then I can just bluff raise the turn or something stupid like that.
You could.
Turn a pair into a bluff. I'm really good at that. It's one of my big things Bill Reynolds taught me.
Negreanu does not have value, but he does have a plan. He calls to float, buying one more card and preserving the initiative advantage that comes from acting last. If she slows on the turn, he gets to tell the next chapter. If she barrels big, he can release cheaply and move on. The texture inches toward the middling wheelish territory that favors the caller. Tilly checks. That single check compresses her range away from very strong overpairs and toward one-pair hands and draws that prefer pot control. Negreanu seizes the mic with a bet. The number is not huge, but the message is loud. He denies a free card to overcards, pressures hands like Ace-Queen and King-Jack that C-bet once, and begins building a story that can arrive at straights and two-pair by the river. His literal hand did not improve, however his distribution did, because the cards he credibly represent improved. Calling the flop to take it away on the turn is classic small ball pressure, and he executes it cleanly. This is the card that ties the room together, and the run-out connects squarely with the very suited connectors that defend 3-bet pots from the blinds. Tilly leads small. That type of sizing often functions as a blocker, a way to name a price with a hand that does not want to face a pot-sized bomb. To Negreanu, that looks like a door left slightly open. He chooses to kick it in and chips. The shove polarizes him to the straights and strong two-pair he has been representing since the turn.
We probably have the same hand. Oh, so sick. You have 9-Jack, right?
Would that be the same hand as you have? Because if you did have that and you didn't call by now, it would be a little bizarre.
You're in Jennifer Tilly's seat. You have the straight. Negreanu shoves over your small lead. What's your move, snap call, or an impossible fold? And why in one sentence? Best clear answer gets pinned.
Oh, God.
Oh, you have a 6? You raised me with a 6 out of position?
No.
That's crazy talk.
Tilly folds.
Vanessa is looking down on Ace-Jack offsuit. Pre-flop is a quiet trap that Vanessa sets on purpose. Antonio opens the button light, which Vanessa flat calls from the small blind and Shaq completes. By not 3-betting, Vanessa keeps both dominated aces and splashy suited connectors in. Multiway, in position on Antonio and with Shock behind, Ace-Jack plays beautifully. She wants exactly this kind of pot. That's top pair, top kicker for Vanessa on a very wet texture. Instead of checking to the razor and risking a free card or a check-through three-way, she leads 165K. It's a protection lead that charges every draw and worse jack. Shaq's hand is the textbook, raise the donk, candidate, pair plus clubs plus straight equity. He bumps it to 400K, telling a story of strength while leaning on fold equity plus a ton of ways to improve. Vanessa just calls. No reason to blow up the pot against a range that includes bluffs and dominated value. And if she 3-bets, she mostly isolates the strongest stuff or gets shoved on by draws with tons of equity. Flat keeps the leash tight. Turn pairs the board. That card quietly helps Vanessa more than Shock. Sets are less likely now. Her jack stays very live, and a bunch of Shaq's pair-based value gets neutered. He still has all the draws, though.
All in. And Shaq shoves!
I call.
Vanessa calls! It's a 10!
That was not supposed to happen.
Vanessa is looking down on pocket aces.
So it's me and you. I got to raise it 1,200.
When have I ever been called predictable? I have many things.
So if you re-raise, then you build the pot so big, and then you're going to get bluffed out in the big pot.
Tony G thinks he's going to outplay Vanessa post-flop with position and a junk-suited looking hand.
Keep the pots low. I bet 2,000. Yeah. That's fair, you know. I think it's better betting in a dark. A dark raise, that's hard and commitment.
The flop is the dream board for Tony. He smashes bottom 2-pair versus most opponents. This is where he starts fast playing, trying to punish overpairs and top pair by ballooning the pot immediately. He leads 2K, to which Vanessa instantly raises to 5K. From her point of view, this looks super standard. She has overpair, she doesn't block spades, there are straight and flush combos Tony G can show up with, and she wants to deny equity.
You ready?
From Tony's point of view, that raise is exactly what he was hoping to induce. He doesn't just call, he makes it 20K.
You ready? If you win the hand, you keep me quiet.
Don't believe you. That bluff I'll call.
That size is Tony basically telling a story of, I'm not scared of you, I have a real hand. The problem he doesn't realize is Vanessa loves that story. When she flats the 20K instead of jamming, she's saying, I have you in jail, and I'm letting you keep betting. With aces, she caps nothing, and Tony can't narrow her the way he thinks he can. Turn is where everything flips, and Tony doesn't feel it yet. So Tony keeps value betting for 10K.
You could shut me right up.
How?
Well, by being all in and winning the pot. Punch in the face.
Just push a button?
Thinking he can still get called by worse and charge flush draws. But in reality, he's now drawing almost dead against boats and nutty slow plays, and Vanessa has him in a spot where calling is mandatory and raising is unnecessary. Full house versus full house is where bankrolls go bankrupt because nobody folds boats to one bet emotionally.
Now you got to show some guts. Can you bet this, or are you going to make a really weak check now on the end? Go on, Vanessa, you can do it.
All in.
Call.
Ace is full.
Wow, very nice. That's the best. Very nice.
You got screwed?
I got a full house too on the end.
Wow.
And a flush draw. That's it. That shut me up. Well done, Vanessa.
Vanessa doubles through.
I got lucky, obviously.
Not really. I mean, it's...
We took turns getting lucky. I got lucky to get the aces, you got lucky on the flop, I got lucky on the turn.
I haven't won one hand when I've been good. So.
Maria Ho is looking down on King 9 suited. She limps the button, which already tells you her plan to keep ranges wide and let him put himself in a bad position post-flop. Ike makes it 230K from the blind. That's classic heads-up logic. Punish the limp, isolate, take control with position post-flop. The problem is, Maria's hand actually plays great versus that sizing, and her call means Ike is now in the blender with a weak, dominated hand in a bloated pot. This flop is basically nightmare equity mapping for Ike. He flops trips if he's Maria, but he's not Maria, she is. He just pairs his 6. With that texture, from Ike's perspective, he's going to get called by worse a lot if he bets, and he's also repping strong, so he continuation bets 175K. That C-bet with middle pair is him kind of value protecting and denying equity versus overcards. Maria just calls. She doesn't raise, and that flat is so evil. If she raises the flop, Ike can sometimes hero fold hands and avoid lighting the rest of the clip on fire. By just calling, she keeps in literally everything he can keep barreling with. He shuts down. He checks. That check is him saying, okay, maybe I don't need to blast with just a 6 here. Let's control. Maria bets 310K into that check. That sizing is nasty because it forces Ike to start making real decisions with a bluff catcher, and it continues the story that she could just be stabbing after he gave up on the king. From Ike's point of view, her line still looks super wide. She can absolutely be floating with air and now trying to win it. So Ike calls. The river pairs the 6. That is the cruel part. Ike goes from, I have 2 pair, I'm bluff catching, to wait, I've got a full house now, 6 is full of 9s. I actually beat random bluffs and counterfeited 9s that didn't improve. His hand upgrades in his mind. He checks, planning to catch, and Maria just rips it in.
And she shoves on Ike!
I want to make a really big fold here. I think you have it.
5 seconds.
Yeah, okay, time to look either real smart or real dumb. Ugh, that was gross.
And you and him have endless trunks of money. He's a school teacher.
Helmut kicks things off with ace-5 offsuit. He is raised to $1,000, but he's up against Fishman with king-queen suited, who's a math teacher known for making razor-sharp, calculated plays.
I don't win very many pots from this spot, so... Wow.
Fishman calls. Williams calls. Deuce, jack, ace, 2 clubs, action flop.
This looks like a fun board.
Williams checks instantly and Helmut checks behind him, but Fishman isn't waiting around. He fires out $3,000 into the pot, repping strength and leaning on that nut flush draw.
Helmuth raises.
This is a pretty easy call with a flush draw, gut shot, and 2 big cards.
And there it is by Fishman.
The turn brings the 5 of hearts, and Helmut quickly bets $15,000, now holding 2 pair and looking to extract value.
His pairs are still no good, but PH could be doing this with worse flush draws, and he's got enough behind for decent implied odds.
Fishman is behind, but still has plenty of outs to improve, and this decision should not be a tough one for a math whiz like him.
Add it all up, and Fishman makes the call.
He's looking for a club or a 10.
The river, there's the 10 completing the straight.
Fishman tries to keep a stone-cold face as he watches the river give him the nuts.
Action on Helmuth.
23,600.
His bet is an attempt to build the pot, but Fishman with the nuts is gonna try to include some serious acting.
$23,600 into a $45,000 pot.
This is pretty dirty. Fishman's reverse pedaling the nuts.
Helmut with 2 pair doesn't know he's walking into a trap. Fishman with the nuts is gonna try to include some serious acting, waiting for him to commit more chips.
I'm not gonna let you do this to me again, Phil. I can't let you do this to me again.
Leonardo DiCaprio could not be selling this any better.
How much you got behind?
This is Fishman's way of trying to convince him he's not too strong. Helmut tries to keep as cold as possible and doesn't even answer Fishman's question.
Was there an answer to that?
Like 85 or something.
I'm all in.
Fishman shoves.
He even fake hesitated. Watch that Oscar, Leo.
I'm done, Phil.
I see method acting, improv, pantomime. If Phil calls here, the kid stays in the picture.
Ha 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 ha. This acting is so terrible that it makes you wonder if it's not a double bluff. Helmut is going to blow up after he sees what Fishman is holding.
This is so sick. I mean, is it possible that I just get cooled every hand I play here? You got king, queen of clubs? I mean, I guess so.
Phil's put him on his exact hand.
God, all that talking leads me to believe that. Wow.
Now, that might be real. I'd certainly be shaking either way.
All right, I call.
Helmuth calls and sees king, queen of clubs.
Bingo! Can I even play in this game? I mean, what the they find? I mean, what the?
That was a great read, by the way. You had him.
Yeah, you're a real. The guy hits a miracle 10 on me, and what? You want to just step
He's
on
a
me?
school teacher, and you and him have endless trunks of money. Endless trunks of money. He's a school teacher. For God's sakes, man.
Screaming will do you a lot of good.
Negreanu is looking down on Jack 10 suited. Lichtenberger opens the hijack, and both stacks behind are deep, so the pre-flop incentives matter. With aces, raising to 45K keeps in dominated broadways and pairs while leaving room to play streets post-flop instead of taking a huge 4-bet pot this close to the business end of a major event. Negreanu flats the cutoff with Jack 10 suited. Against a competent hijack opener and a sticky big blind, that hand prints by realizing equity rather than trying to 3-bet. If he 3-bets, he invites a 4-bet from value, folds out the weaker stuff he dominates, and risks playing a bloated pot with a hand that prefers multi-way, position, and disguised equity. D bleeds into 2 players. With top pair and a backdoor club, he denies overcards a free look and sets the price on a texture that can change quickly. Lichtenberger just calls with aces. That's deliberate, raising polarizes him on a wet board and risks pushing out Negreanu's dominated continues. With the ace of clubs, he blocks the nut flush, so he doesn't fear as many bad turns and can keep ranges wide. Negreanu's call with Jack 10 is standard. He has the clean open-ender to the nuts, excellent position, and 2 opponents who will pay him off if he hits. Turning this into a raise would fold out worse and isolate against the top of range. The 7 of clubs hits, and Negreanu picks up the straight at the same time the front door flush completes. Lichtenberger checks as well, which keeps his range disguised and preserves the option to spring a check raise. With aces that include the ace of clubs, he can induce a bet, choose between calling and jamming, and if he is behind, he carries 9 outs to the nuts. Negreanu fires 295K to tax everything at once. The bet extracts from 2 pairs and sets that fear a 4th club, charges single club over pairs that refuse to fold, and denies a cheap river to ace of clubs holdings that would love a free card. The sizing is intentional because it sets up a straightforward stack off versus a check raise, and avoids giving a volatile river the chance to undo his equity lead.
Feeling comfortable right now. See, you can tell by my energy. Relaxed. What does that usually mean? Huh? What? Dang! As soon as I start yapping, he goes in. Oh, man.
Imagine that you are so good with the mind games that you can induce an all-in shove with just some yapping.
It's tough decision. I'm gonna need a minute.
While we wait for Negreanu to make his decision, please give this video a like. Thank you.
Because you check the turn. I guess you do that with the ace-high flush, right? Well, you have to have it. I don't think I can fold, though. Nice hand, bro.
This part here was inaudible, but you can clearly see that he is saying deuce of hearts a few times.
Called the deuce of hearts. Were you hearing me saying deuce of hearts?
Trickett kicks things off with 6-5 of spades. This is an extremely speculative hand that aggressive players like Trickett love. Trickett has already raised to $100,000, and our villain is considering his options.
That's 3. 335, 35.
With almost $200,000 already in the pot, paying $50,000 should be nothing. And our Bulgarian villain thinks the same as he calls with his Jack 7 of spades. The flop comes 2-9-3 with 2 spades. Now Trickett is hoping for the 4 of spades, and the Bulgarian is begging the dealer for almost any spade but the 4. After the villain shows weakness with his check, Trickett looks like he will take matters into his own hands. And he does exactly that. He fires a bet for $80,000, which is about 1/3 of the pot. Now the ball is in the court of the Bulgarian. I think his best option is to just call and play along for another card and hope it's a good spade. After some thoughtful consideration, he does the reasonable thing and calls to see the turn. Let's see how will that play out for him.
So we see the turn card, and it's the 4 of spades. Wow, what a card. That has made Sam Trickett a straight flush. He is absolutely unbeatable in this hand. And Igor Kurganov has got a jack-high flush, so he'll think that he's unbeatable.
This is what we call a cooler, Jono. All the chips are going into the middle. Sam has the absolute nuts. He's got the best hand possible.
The turn delivering the 4 of spade is the best thing that could have happened to Trickett, and the worst for the Bulgarian villain. Now he will think that he has a good flush when in fact he is drawing completely dead. With Trickett betting $180,000, the price of 1/3 of the pot is not too bad for a call here. What would you do in that position? Would you fold, or would you go all in? Let me know in the comments.
Mullen, call. She's in with sixes.
Jennifer Tilly kicks things off with pocket sixes. This is a decent hand to entertain a small raise with and see if luck is on your side.
Back on Arden. She calls the 3-bet as well, so 3-way to the flop. Oh my word, set over set and Griffin's flop top pair?
This is going to be bad for Griffin, but it's going to be real bad for Arden.
With the board that the flop delivers, everyone has something to bet about. But instead of that, Tilly and Cho decide to check. With that in mind, our weak top pair is trying to take control of the board by shooting a small bet of $2,500. Tilly is loving it because other than a set of kings, nothing else on the board beats her, and she would love to see this pot growing, so naturally she calls. Miss Cho, on the other hand, has a completely different plan. She is not waiting for the pot to grow. She is growing it herself. She does that by firing a $9,400 bet. Now Benger has a choice. Entertain this top pair, or realize the truth and just give up.
Why is he so serious? He's like a goober 99% of the time.
The angry man quickly decides to fold and not pursue the king. On the other hand, Tilly is more than happy to oblige Miss Cho by re-raising to $30,000 with her set of sixes.
Oh boy.
Jen re-raises $30,000.
At this point, Miss Cho should know the deep trouble she finds herself in, but still decides to go ahead and call on her set of fives. The turn delivers the 9 of clubs, a card that is completely irrelevant to both of them. If I was in the position of Tilly, I would be betting pot here. What would you? Let me know in the comments below. I guess Tilly is not so happy about my jamming suggestion, so she decides to check here and wait for something magical on river. Same thing for Miss Cho. In her case, though, that is in her favor.
And Arden spikes a 1-outer. She's got quads. Meanwhile, Jen has rivered a full house.
Buckle up, because this hand just went from pretty sick to absolutely bonkers.
People say patience is a virtue, but in Tilly's case, her patience came to bite her from behind. The river delivers the only card that can save Miss Cho, and that is the 5 of clubs. Now the only question is, will Tilly get baited by her now full house hand? Or will she read her for the quads Miss Cho has? And as we all thought she should do, Miss Cho goes.
There it is.
This is not good.
No, it sure isn't.
If Jen calls, this will be the biggest pot of the game.
Arden, you have quads because I can't beat quads.
Does she know?
I don't think you have kings full. And I don't think you have 9s full. You might have 5s full.
That's a call.
$383,000 pot. Ryan is looking down on ace-deuce suited. He got involved in a few bad beats that night, but little does he know the worst is yet to come. Nick airball takes the button and turns pre-flop into a leverage spot built on position and blockers. His small 3-bet keeps his range wide and the stacks deep, daring the blinds to define themselves out of position. Ryan answers with a chunky 4-bet from the blind, the classic polarized blend of premiums and suited wheel aces that block 5-bet value. Nick's 5-bet to 33K is deliberately petite and keeps everything playable. That sizing telegraphs polarization 2 hands happy to shovel later, and a few suited high card bluffs that block premium combos and still see flops well. King 9 suited is exactly that kind of wolf in sheep's clothing. It removes King X from Ryan, plays clean on Broadway boards, and retains disguised equity on monotone textures. Ryan's call with Ace 2 suited preserves his 4-bet bluffs and defends his story, but it consigns him to the worst seat in a 5-bet pot and leaves him short on nuttiness unless he specifically shows up with the Ace of Hearts.
68,000 almost already in the middle.
The flop is a monotone Broadway dream for the button, and Nick has the dream within the dream King of Hearts and 9 of Hearts for the straight flush. On these boards, the 5-better naturally owns the suited high card advantage, so his small continuation bet works on every level. It pressures ace high and medium pairs. It denies a cheap look to hands with a single heart, and it looks perfectly routine whether he's bluffing or holding the nuts. Ryan's call keeps his range wide but already shaky. With Ace 2 of diamonds, he has no flush equity, no pair, and no blocker to the nut region Nick actually represents. He's floating almost entirely on the belief that later aggression will fold out hands like red queens or a single King of Hearts. The problem is structural. Without the Ace of Hearts in his hand, his story is missing its cornerstone. Every call he makes builds a pot he'll be forced to bluff later with nothing to lean on. The turn is a blank for Ryan's real hand and a test of discipline. When Nick bets again for 26K, it's the kind of second barrel that keeps pressure on weak pairs and teases calls from single heart holdings. While we wait for Ryan's decision, I would be very grateful if you hit the like button. It helps out a lot. Thank you.
What is Ryan doing? He raises.
Ryan turns to the only weapon he has and check raises to 80K. On paper, it's a move that can make sense. A blind who 4-bet pre and check the flop can credibly represent slow-played ace-high flushes or overpairs containing a big heart. The trouble is combinatorics. Against Nick's 5-bet range full of king-high and ace-high suited broadways, you need the ace of hearts or king of hearts in hand to strip value from his continuing region. Without it, you're bluffing into a range that simply doesn't fold.
See Ryan rolling his eyes at himself.
Nick's decision to flat rather than jam is the final layer of control. It keeps Ryan's bluffs alive, invites another shove from weaker value, and guarantees a river spot where his straight flush is untouchable.
All in. All in. And Ryan shoves.
You win.
And loses a $383,000 pot.
Ah, what a stupid
wow.
Aussie Katola opens the button to 150K with King-Jack offsuit. That sizing keeps Foxen's range wide and gives Katola position plus initiative with a hand that flops strong pairs and good 2-pair combos. Alex Foxen defends the big blind with 8-6 of diamonds. Suited connectors are bread and butter, defends heads up. They realize equity well, threaten powerful semi-bluffs on many turns, and can cooler 1-pair hands. On the flop, Foxen checks his second pair with backdoor flush possibilities and tons of turn cards to attack. Katola checks back top 2. That's deliberate pot control and deception on a very dynamic texture. The front door diamonds arrive and the ace smashes ranges.
Foxen made the flush. And Katola has completely under-repped his hand.
We saw this before though, Randy. Aussie checked back Jack 10. Allowed Foxen to improve to a backdoor flush and was able to find a river fold.
Foxen turns a flush and leads 250K. From his seat, this is a must bet. He has a strong value hand. He denies equity to single diamond hands, and he targets exactly Katola's checkbacks like King X and Jack X that hate this card but cannot fold. Katola just calls with kings and jacks. Raising would polarize himself and fold out worse while isolating only stronger flushes. Calling keeps Foxen's bluffs alive, controls the pot on a scary card, and leverages his redraw to a full house on paired rivers. The board pairs and Katola improves to a full house, kings full of jacks. Foxen sees a river that shouldn't change much against most of Katola's perceived turn call range and value bets 5,500K with his flush, targeting 1-pair hands and ace X with a diamond. Katola now has the perfect shove. Jamming for roughly 6.1 million applies maximum pressure to every non-boat hand, credibly represents exactly what he has, and captures value from any flush that decides it is too high up to fold heads up.
If Foxen calls here, it's just over. He'll be down $6 million, and I don't see how he can fold.
If we can imagine for a second that playing in such stakes is possible for us mere mortals, what would you do in Foxen's position? Let me know in the comments.
He calls the biggest pot, $11 million.
Sarah is looking down on ace-deuce offsuit.
I'm gonna call.
She limps the button with her hand being super under-repped, super annoying to play against, because it's technically garbage, but it blocks top pair, and it can still make nutty stuff.
Me and Mrs. Finland right now, heads up.
I believe it's Ms.
I'm sorry, Miss Finland. All right, let's see a flop.
Ronnie checks the big blind with 8-4 offsuit, which is exactly the kind of hand you want to see flops with for cheap.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Ronnie hits bottom pair. Nothing special on paper, but in a blind versus limp pot bottom pair is actually real equity. You're ahead of all the ace highs, gutter balls, and random floats. He leads 15K, and that lead is important. He's saying, I have something, I'm not just surrendering.
You have something?
Yes, I do.
I believe you. I believe you.
She instantly bumps it to 30K. That raise is pressure, not value. She's repping Queen X and basically saying, you don't get to name the price, I do. The thing is, Ronnie doesn't go away. He doesn't 3-bet, he doesn't spaz, he just calls.
Why are you checking?
You raised me on the flop.
Num.
Ronnie just improved from, I kind of have a hand, to, I actually have a monster for this line. Trips in a limped pot is huge because again, she's never putting him on 8-4. Ronnie checks, which is smart. He wants Sarah to keep telling her queen story. She obliges by firing 55K. From her point of view, this is perfect. She thinks she already took control on the flop, so she keeps the narrative going. I raised you, you just called, you check turn, I'm still ahead. Ronnie now springs the trap and check raises to 155K. That's him basically saying, okay, I've got it. Time to pay full price.
255.
She re-raises.
What?
Against a lot of players, this ends the hand. People hate facing turn check raises because that's usually the I'm not bluffing anymore line. But Sarah does something that tells you how serious she is.
Really, huh? 255,000.
That is not a protection raise. That is, I am not afraid of your story, I'm upgrading it. Now pause there and think about what that looks like from Ronnie's chair. He thinks he's the trapper with trips, and then she snap re-raises his check raise. That's psychological whiplash. At a minimum, she's repping queen with a real kicker.
Ronnie, she's a little better looking than you. We're kind of rooting for her. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
I know.
Maybe even something nuttier. He can't fold trips there, obviously. He calls. But the dynamic just flipped. He's no longer casually extracting. He's now in a leveling war.
All in.
And she shoves.
In Ronnie's spot, what's your move and why? I want to hear from the guys who've actually been in these pots. On your way back from the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh my God! How is this happening? I wanted to stay and play with you, Miss Finland.
I understand.
I know I am. I have a 4.
He shows her his hand.
Do you have 5 full or something? Oh, gee. I don't know. How often do you play this game? Do you know I have a 4 here? You know I have trips. I don't know if I can fold this hand. I don't know how you play. I never played with you before. What is going on here? If I fold this hand and they see this fold and you have like king queen or something, it's gonna be the most embarrassing thing ever for me. You understand this, right?
Okay. And Ronnie's folded.
Holy shnikes.
Ronnie, you're going to the cage.
Doug Polk kicks things off with Jack-9 suited, a hand that can pop off real hard if the flop comes just right. Doug has already 3-bet his opponent raise, trying to portray strength. As he is calling, I am inclined to tell you that Owen, the guy with the pocket tens, is an amateur, and I think this is his first professional table. Imagine playing versus one of the biggest names in the game on your first table.
Doug hits 2 pair on this flop.
Owen's got some escape hatches, though, in the form of an 8 for a straight or, of course, a 10.
After the flop delivers a 2 pair for Doug Polk, I am starting to worry about our friend Owen here. He is indeed holding a good pair and has an open-ended straight flush draw, but Doug is currently holding the nuts and is looking to apply pressure with another $4,000 bet. Our amateur has a big decision to make, so he naturally takes his time, but ends up calling. I bet he is feeling the straight on the river.
How much do you have behind here? It's like 20,
43, 50? 50?
Oh my goodness.
Nice turn card for Owen. Not only does he have the straight, he's got straight flush redraw.
With the straight on the turn, Owen now takes 35 seconds to decide that he wants to bet more than half the pot for $10,000. But don't worry, I have sped it up for you.
Owen goes for a 2/3 pot bet. Sets up a nice sized river shove should he get called.
After the amateur bet, Doug's call was almost like a snap call compared to how long they're taking to decide this game.
Doug's not going to go anywhere. 2-pair just yet. And there's the straight flush.
Wow. All in.
Owen does go all in.
Really brutal.
But if Owen taking so long to decide wasn't enough, Doug Polk contemplated the laws of the universe for a minute and a half before making his decision. But once again, I have sped up to his decision. Let's check it out.
Queen X of diamonds. I have so many hearts, though.
Doug is just trying to think of hands that he beats.
I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one bit.
Yeah, maybe Owen has King Queen of diamonds exactly.
Brandstrom is looking down at King 3 offsuit, but he's heads up against Suitsor, who raised to 900,000 with 6-3 suited.
Does not mix in the re-raise, just a call. Hello, Nurse. OMG.
Full house for Brandstrom. Trip threes for Suitsor.
Brandstrom checks. Textbook trap play. He's got the board absolutely crushed. And by checking, he's giving Suitsor the green light to bet with all his bluffs, value hands, and even air.
He might be tempted not to check raise here, but we can see if he plays it quick, all of the chips are going to be going into the middle.
Here comes the C-bet. 700,000 into 2.2 million.
A standard continuation bet. But in reality, he's walking straight into quicksand. With trip threes, he's betting for value and protection, expecting to get called by weak kings, pocket pairs, or even some ace-high floats. From Brandstrom's perspective, this is perfect. His check has worked.
You can only play this slow, right? You've just got so much of this, and it's so unlikely that your opponent does. What can you do?
Oh, come on.
Jeez.
The turn comes 6 of diamonds, and Brandstrom checks again. It's a brilliant move because it keeps the door wide open for Suitsor to keep betting.
Does Brandstrom want to now start getting all the chips in on the turn?
Suitsor fires 1.7 million. This bet makes perfect sense from his perspective, and Brandstrom has checked twice, showing no aggression.
You gotta just call again and go for value on the river, and you are gonna get it.
The 10 of hearts lands on the river. And once again, Brandstrom checks. He's played this hand perfectly so far. By checking here, he's saying, I don't have a strong hand. You're totally safe to bet again.
The check raise on the river means he'll get to play for all of the chips.
The nonchalant 6 million bet.
Suitsor falls for it completely unaware he's about to get wrecked. But after investing so much, can he actually fold here?
There's the shove. Checks his hand. Snap calls. Thinks it's all over, but it is not.
Too excited. No.
House over house. Ridiculously sick cooler.
Malik is looking down on pocket fours. He limp calls the small blind to keep the pot cheap, hide his strength, and tempt the big blind to isolate wider than normal. Reichenstein does exactly that with Queen 6 offsuit.
1.2? 1.4. Wow. 1.4. Okay.
Yuri may end up regretting telling Sebastian to have fun.
Malik's banter here is not small talk. It's deliberate downplay to make his range look weak and to encourage future barrels. On an ace-high 2-heart flop, the raiser is supposed to bet at a high frequency, so Reichenstein's C-bet is automatic. Malik just calls. Raising a set here would shut down bluffs and fold out a ton of hands that are willing to keep paying. The flat keeps his range looking like weak aces, small pairs, and heart draws. It also preserves the initiative narrative on Reichenstein's side, which is exactly what you want when you're trapping. The turn brings the 10 of spades, a card that's better for the better story than for the callers. It adds overcard pressure to Malik's perceived ace-rag or pocket pair range and gives Reichenstein clean justification to keep firing with value and withdraws. Malik calls again. He isn't worried about protection. He wants the widest possible river betting range. Calling maintains the illusion that he's hanging on with a marginal 1-pair hand or a busted draw and invites a big third barrel.
Mallets improves to quads.
Oh, wow, just quads.
The river is the 4 of diamonds and it detonates the trap. Malik upgrades from a set to quads at the exact moment his opponent is most committed to the bluff. From Reichenstein's chair, this is a perfect shove card with value and a great scare card for bluffs. Many weak aces should fold to maximum pressure and missed hearts are everywhere. He chooses a large bet to blast those hands out. The problem is credibility and blockers. Queen 6 with no heart blocks, nothing that matters. It doesn't remove Malik's full houses, quads, or even the strong ace-x that will call. Meanwhile, Malik's line of call arrives at the river with almost no natural bluffs and a ton of slow-played value.
All in.
He shoves.
When he moves all in, he's perfectly polarized and his story is airtight. He let the big blind tell the tale on every street, then revealed the ending.
He folds.
Tedeschi kicks things off with pocket queens. He is raised to 36,000, but he's up against McAllister, whose cards we don't know yet.
Philip McAllister calls out of a stack of 1.74 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of dimp.
Rabba comes in from the big blind, so a three-way to the flop.
Jaya Rabba.
And that flop is Queen 8-4 with 2 clubs. Looks like Rabba has checked to the razor.
Makes sense.
Tedeschi's pocket queens just flopped top set on a pretty dry board. It's a dream scenario for him. But McAllister and Rabba could easily have flush or straight draws since they just called pre-flop. So he's probably going to look for a value bet here.
It's been checked to McAllister. And I've been impressed by what we've seen from this guy today.
Pose. Really? It supposedly means you're comfortable. A lot of poker players sit like that.
So the bet from McAllister is 48k.
Rabba doesn't look like he's going to fold here. We don't know if he's drawing or if he actually has a piece of the board. But after Tedeschi checked on the flop, he might raise and try to scare him off.
Rabba calls. Monsieur Tedeschi.
I think it's Paul Tedeschi, actually.
Tedeschi's in an interesting spot here. He's confident his hand is strong, but Rabba's call indicates some kind of draw or a strong pair. He's probably wondering if Rabba's just trying to see the turn cheaply or if he's setting up a move. It's a tricky decision. Does he bet for value or does he just call and allow these 2 bad boys to potentially bluff on the turn?
That's a call as well. We're still 3-way as we go to the turn. Yeah, Jack of hearts on the turn. Rabba checks. And I think that was a check from Tedeschi, yep.
He's gone from the 1 arm on 1 shoulder to 2 arms on 2 shoulders. The old water slide pose.
Philip McAllister bets again, 136,000.
This could be a potentially huge pot.
Especially as it looks like he's calling. He's raised all in. McAllister just called. He flats the all in. But look at the price he's getting.
Cool. Okay, well.
Does call.
No one has a pot-sized bet left behind now.
Good point.
The river brings the ace of hearts and Rabba's looking down at the board, still not knowing the strength of Tedeschi's hand. He could be holding a decent pair or even a straight, but the ace definitely changes the dynamic. Does he believe Tedeschi has a hand like 2 pair, or is he worried about a potential set or a straight? The ace might just be the card Rabba needs to bluff at this pot and try to steal it.
Do these 2 just check it down? No, they don't. He bets 300?
Actually competing for the main pot of 1.4 million. And now, McAllister moves all in.
How does everyone have a hand here?
I have no idea. Baffling the way this hand is played out. That's a call.
No, it's a fold.
Yes.
And he likes what he sees.
No, King 10 clubs.
King 10 of hearts for a royal flush.
It is a royal, and look at that, Tedeschi did have a set of queens. What a terrible, disgusting run out for what is going to be the best hand almost always.
This was a nasty royal flush poker river cooler. Brittany has been challenging Peter all night. And now that she is looking at an ace-jack offsuit in her hand, he fired a pre-flop raise with pocket 8s. But let's see if she will challenge him this time.
And does Chris want to escalate this pre-flop war?
Ludacris takes some time to decide whether to pursue the Queen 5 of spades. But at last, he decides that he is on this poker table to test his luck and calls Peter's 4-bet. But as we all know, Brittany is a player who loves aggressive moves. So she calls and hopes the flop turns out nice. And Peter keeps betting like that.
Brittany calls as well, and it's a pretty good one for Brittany, a pretty good flop.
The flop comes Jack 4-6 with 2 hearts, which is decent for Brittany. She has the top pair, and even though she doesn't know it, there is only the backdoor flush draw or the off chance for another 8 to be worried about, which is very unlikely as you can see from the 12% of equity Peter has. Despite the low chance of him winning, Peter decides to project power and c-bet another $9,000, to which Ludacris snappily folds. And Brittany decides to show she is not to be messed with when it comes to poker.
Having 2 8s and the 8 of hearts probably should tilt him away from that.
Peter is visibly confused by how Brittany is playing. As I already mentioned, she has been bullying him and sometimes losing weird hands. So now he doesn't know whether it's one of those empty bluffs or if Brittany has something.
多少啊？4万起啊？45 5 45 4 2次吧。
哦
OK
They said twice.
Twice, okay.
没问题啊。万一发错
It's a
了，
big pot.
波动小一点。
没有问题。King。King。
哦。
Brittany safe on the first run out.
完了。
喊什么八啦？
Peter needs only an 8. There's only one left. He doesn't find it, and Brittany gets the full double, $118,000 pot.